But yeah, the word on the street when we opened was pretty crazy. I don't think Chris and I, like either of us, really expected that the feedback would be so amazing. Like we both knew that we would knock it out of the park, but the way that people responded was like, I don't think anything we could have expected. People were like, oh my God, this is like the best pizza I've ever had in my life. And like, it still happens too. So it's a nice feeling for sure. And like, we're happy to be that for the community, you know, like we're selling affordable, real food to real people. And I don't think there's enough of that within like the mass food industry these days, you know. Hi, my name is Kyle Fraser. I'm co-owner of Paisano Slice Shop here in Nanaimo, BC. We usually get here around 9:30. We pull out the dough that's been proofing overnight. I do, you know, whatever little cleaning that needs to be done. And then we start on prep, getting the line ready. Then, I mean, around 11 o'clock, we like to be stretching pies for open at 11:30. And then the kind of business from there, we just keep cranking them out and making people stoked. We've been open for about 4 months now, and it's working really well. And I think, like, yeah, we're successful, and I think Chris and I both like are very proud of what we built here, and like the opportunity to do our own thing, like by our own means, like on our own terms, has been, you know, really healing experience for spending so many years working for other people and doing other people's things. It took about almost a year for us to open from, you know, getting the space until we opened the doors. So there's kind of a lot of, you know, bureaucratic hoops we had to jump through with the city and VHA and all that. And then, I mean, when we got here, it was an empty space with like old lino flooring and everything that we had to rip up during a heat wave. So it was quite the grind to get here. But once we, you know, opened up shop and started ripping, it was kind of evident that we did the right thing. It was pretty nerve-wracking, but I think the time that we did open was probably like the very best we could have chosen, because it was, you know, like middle of the summer. We opened last day of June, and there was the night market going on this street, and we were like always open for the night market nights. And I think that's what really, you know, helped spread the word early, is because we were just cranking out pizza during the night market. And there were nights, like the first few weeks at the night market, that we would have like a line up out to Modern Cafe. So people were like, oh, what is this place? Like, I can't even get in here for a slice. So we had lots of people coming back from that. So I think the time we did take to open was good in a way, because it also took me almost a year to nail down the dough recipe to the point where we were really happy with it as well. So I think that long time to open actually did us some good in the end. Mostly testing it on Allie, and she was getting sick of eating pizza for a while there. And then, I mean, for at home, I was kind of doing it at home the whole time because we didn't have this oven in here and all the things set up yet. So I think it took a long time in that respect as well, because I can make all these doughs in different ovens, but until we have like the actual parameters that are set within our space, we couldn't really tell how exactly it would react 100%. So I kind of had a couple nailed down that I thought were good. And then by the time we actually did our first, you know, R&D kind of cooking day here, we both tasted it and we're like, yeah. So, I mean, it's been revised, I think, maybe once or twice since we opened. But other than that, I think it was pretty solid once we got going. And it's been pretty well received by the pizza people around here too. Everybody's always talking about how awesome the crust is and everything. So it was well worth it. Lots of olive oil, always. I mean, the secret, I think, to making a good pie is using your brain and like taking your time with all these steps, you know. Is like the dough is pretty crucial, but there's other aspects as well. It's like you gotta try your best not to, you know, sog it out. So using ingredients on top that don't have a ton of excess moisture and things like that. And then it really comes down to like quality ingredients and taking your time and like not overlooking little things that you might think would be a little deal, like a great tomato sauce, a great cheese, and really just, you know, simplicity is key in that respect, I think. You know, you can throw 1,000 things on a pizza, but it might not be as good as some guy who's using really nice Parmigiano and Fior latte on a margarita, you know? It's all relatable that way. And I mean, getting creative too, there's a lot of different things on pizza that people have never seen that are amazing, you know, and try not to, you know, do what everyone else is doing, but don't get insane with it and put a bunch of stuff on a pizza just because. Yeah, my background before Paisano's was just cooking in lots of different restaurants. I did a year of culinary back in the day when I was a little rugrat brat of a child, and then yeah, worked in a bunch of places over the years. The last one would have been Milton Street Public House for a long time. It's just up the way, and I learned a ton from Rob there. He's a really great chef and human being, and I think, yeah, he really helped give me the confidence to do my own thing, you know. I never really thought of it as an avenue I would want to go in, and then yeah, Chris and I met and like had a little conversation over some beers all these days ago and decided just to give her. So yeah, it's kind of where I came from, is just cooking for other people my whole life. So it's been a nice, like, eye-opening experience and like a point of pride to be able to do it for ourselves. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think yeah, people are nothing but stoked around here. We don't get anybody that comes in here that doesn't have a great vibe, I find, and it really, like, I think days when Chris and I are both like so gassed, it, like, you know, puts some wind under our sails when people just come in and they're like so incredibly stoked about what we're doing. And sometimes it's not even really just the pizza. Like, people are really pumped about like the vibe in here, and I think me and Chris are just a couple of really chill dudes, and people are really responsive to that, you know. And it's nice. It's a nice feeling of community, and we just have like old ladies that come here for a slice, but also just to chat, you know. It's a really cute zone. Yeah, our menu is it's pretty small and limited, but I think the things we got on there we're really happy about, and I don't think we would we don't want to like go too hard, you know, at the beginning and have so many things on the menu that we can't execute perfectly every time. So we've got our classic margarita. I think every pizza place, you know, needs that, because I think a lot of people that come in and try a new spot, they try the margarita because they're like, oh, I mean, if they can't do that, what can they do, you know? And then we got the miso mushroom is another one that people have been really stoked on. It's like, we have a lot of vegetarian options, and, you know, we try on those, which I think a lot of people fall short. They'll just, you know, throw some tomatoes and black olives and call it a vegetarian pizza. We got the miso mushroom that's got like a miso caramelized shallot white sauce, mushrooms and lemon and ricotta. And then we got the olive confit garlic, which is just whole confit garlic cloves, nice Kalamata olives, cherry tomatoes, and basil. And we have to have a pepperoni, obviously, because everyone needs to have a pepperoni, especially in a small town like this. But we did kind of do a cool take on it. So it's got a house-made hot honey and a whipped feta cheese, which everyone always seems to think is like sorcery. It's, you know, it's like, they're like, what was that cheese? So there's little things like that we do kind of set us apart. And it's funny because like some people in this town will see, you know, the toppings on that pepperoni and be like, what is on my pepperoni pizza? And then others will be like, you know, open to trying it. So I think that's, you know, what we're trying to do is maybe broaden a few horizons, but still keep things a little bit familiar for the everyday guy. So I think we did it pretty well with what we got there. The potato is the last one on the menu, and that one's cool. It's like, you know, roast potatoes, confit garlic. In the summer we were doing it with garlic scapes because we were able to get them from local farms. So now we've had to kind of sub that out with some green onions and more garlic. But that one's really nice too. They're all like hearty, you know, real food. They don't make you feel like shit. So I think we nailed it on that, and we're kind of planning maybe in the next few months to try and like add some more pizzas that have been popular, because we do specials all the time. So we're kind of like, you know, going through the hits of what people keep coming back and asking for. Like that pickle guy you see on the board over there, we might put on the menu because it's actually been taken off. People have been really stoked on it. So yeah, it's cool to do the specials every week because we kind of get a sense for what people are really wanting, you know? And it keeps it fresh for us too. Story of the oven is we got it for free off of a cat on Main Island, so I had to take about 5 buddies to get this thing out of there because it kind of seemed like it was an Excalibur situation, like if you can lift it, you can take it sort of deal. So we went out there in the heat wave mid-July and took this beast all the way back to Nanaimo. So it took us, I think, left town at 6 a.m. We got back at about 6 p.m. and took another 3 hours, I think, figuring out how to get it in here. So all said and done, she's been a bit of a workhorse. She's probably cooked about several thousand pizzas from then until now. So we came away good on that one. We just actually this week ramped up our dough production. We had to kind of mess with this fridge a little bit to get some space, and now we can pump out 75 pizzas a day instead of 50. So I mean, if that goes well and things keep growing how they have been, then I think next step for us is probably finding a bigger location potentially that can kind of handle the volume, and then keeping the OG spot as like the classic slice space and having the other one, you know, handle all the delivery and takeout, things like that. You know, that could take a lot off our shoulders here with like keeping up with to-go orders and slices. Be a hell of a lot of work, but I think after we've dug our boots here for a while and figured it out, I think we can take that on, you know. So yeah, baby steps for now, and bide our time for we really want to make some more moves, I guess. All right, John, thanks for your time. We're about to get slammed, so we're gonna need you to jog on.